Hey everybody, Joe here with Hidden Creative Industries, and today we are going to talk about scaling armor for 3D printing and getting it right. All right, one of the things that I see all the time in the forums that I'm in is how do I scale my armor? Or I printed a helmet for the last 60 hours and it doesn't fit. There's a lot of responses to this, and they're all correct. I see people say, just increase the size of the helmet to 105%, or reduce it to an arbitrary number, or import it into Armorsmith. And then that brings up a whole nother conversation about people saying that, I don't want to spend $30 for a program, or something like that. Well, Armorsmith is a great program. We use it here. We use it for modeling. I use it to import armor pieces when we're doing designs and to see what it's going to look like. It's a great program for that. We just don't use it for scaling. When we're scaling, we are very, very accurate, and we do it with 4 things. And I want to introduce you to those 4 things, and then we're going to show you how this works in just a matter of minutes. So here we go. The first thing you're going to need is a set of calipers, and those calipers look like this. It's just a little set of calipers. We've had these for a long time. We have a bunch of sizes. You can get them on Amazon, and you can even make these if you want to. You can cut them out of cardboard, put a hole in it, put a screw with a wing nut on it, because all you need to be able to do is take a measurement and put that on a ruler, which brings me to the second thing that you need, which is a good ruler. Preferably one that has centimeter or millimeter format on it. You're going to need that to translate that to your printer, and then you're going to need a pencil, and you will need a piece of paper. All right, here we go. We're going to get started. Here's how quick it is. I'm going to use myself as a model, and I'm going to get my X measurement. I'm going to go from ear to ear with my calipers, and whatever the distance is here, I'm going to lay this on my ruler, and it's going to tell me that that's 18 centimeters. I'm going to convert that to millimeters, which is going to be 180, and I'm going to record that. I'm going to take my Y measurement, which is from the tip of my nose to the back of my head. I'm going to translate that down to the piece of paper, which is going to be 215 millimeters. I'm going to go from my Adam's apple to the top of my head. I'm going to record that measurement. That's it. I've got all my measurements now. That's all I need to make sure that my helmet is going to be a perfect fit. I'm going to go into my slicing software. I use Simplify 3D. Maybe I need a little more coffee this morning, but here we are. This is my table, and the first thing I'm going to do is import a head. You can find these on Thingiverse or any other site that has some STLs. And what I want to do is I want to set this to the proper dimensions based on my measurements. Again, printers work with an X, a Y, and a Z. One of the things that you want to do is you want to turn off uniform scaling here, right? Because if uniform scaling is on, you'll make changes to all these axes at the same time. I'm going to turn this off, and I'm going to put my measurements in here, which were 180 and 215 and 275. Now I have a head that is dimensioned to my measurements from the outside of each ear, from the tip of my nose to the back of my head, and from my Adam's apple to the top of my head. This is a good representation of the size of my head. Now I'm going to bring a helmet in here. Here it is, the Heavy Mandalorian helmet. The first thing that I want to do when I bring this helmet in is the same thing. I want to take the scaling off, and I want to align this a little bit. I want to make sure that my eyes are looking out of the visor opening. So I'll raise this helmet up just a little bit, and there it is. Helmet's on top of my head. And the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the size of this helmet. So what I want to do is I want to do a cross section, and I'm going to do an X, and this is going to cut this right in the middle. And I can see what the helmet is going to look like. I can see that I'm pretty close right there with my cheek, but we're going to look at that here on the Z axis. I can do a Y cross section, and I can see how much room that I have on each side of my head where my ears are. And I can look at the Z, and I can see that maybe I'm a little close there. Maybe not. I can increase the size of that just a little bit. So what we will do is we will go to the helmet and make sure that I'm on it, and I'm going to increase, this is the X, I'm going to increase this just a little bit, right? You can see that's blowing out the sides a little bit. It's not changing any of the other proportions of the helmet because I did not have uniform scaling checked. I'm going to go back in here. I'm going to look at my cross section. And now I can see I got a little bit more room in there, right? I got a little more room in the cheek area. And if I look at my X, yeah, see, that looks pretty good. I don't know if I like this. I might want a little more room back here behind my helmet. If you want to put a fan in there or something, you can increase the size here, right? So I'm going to blow this out a little bit. As you can see, I'm blowing that out. It's getting a little bit bigger there. Increase the size a little bit. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this now and go back to this because I want to adjust my helmet a little bit more as I've been making these changes. So I'm probably going to raise this up so my eyes are still in the visor. And I'm going to take a look at this now. So that looks pretty good. So what I've done is I have just scaled this helmet so that it fits the dimensions of my head properly. And again, if I go back to my cross section and I look at this, I can see, yeah, I got a lot of room around the side. If I look at it like this, I can see that, yep, I got a lot of room, you know, on each side if I want to put some padding in there or anything like that. And you can modify this, and you can see, you know, like where you want to, or what room you're going to have when you're looking in regards to the model, how it's going to wrap, you know, around your head and everything like that. And then we're just going to go back here and look at the top, right, and set right over top of this. And let's look, let's check everything here. Yep, right. So everything looks good. That looks pretty good. I can actually get rid of my cross section now. And what I can do is take my head that I had imported in here into the model, and I can go ahead and remove that. That leaves me now with just my helmet scaled to where it needs to be. This is essentially done. Now, just that quick, we've scaled a helmet. It's going to fit perfectly for me. When I send this out to the printer, I can choose to prepare to print this like this, although I would not do it because there's going to be a lot of supports in here. I'll probably flip this upside down and print it upside down, or in some cases I may bring this into another program like Mesh Mixer and slice this in half if I was going to print this on multiple pieces, or quarter it if I wanted to print it in 4 pieces. But there you go. The quick and dirty, that quick. That's how quick you can perfectly scale a helmet so that it's going to fit 100% of the time. Very, very easy, very simple process. Doesn't involve importing it into a bunch of things. All you need is that set of calipers and a ruler that you can get centimeters or millimeters on so that you can import it into your program, and you are done. This works with gauntlets. It works with chess pieces. If you're going to do a gauntlet, just put the caliper on the arm at some various places, take that measurement, get your length and everything, and it's going to work. If you're doing the chest, you know, you're going to get the measurements where you want them as far as the height and everything like that. And that's where programs like Armorsmith come in handy, because you can scale them here in your 3D printer using those linear measurements which work with the 3D printer. And then if you want to import them into Armorsmith, you can mess around with them there and see what they're going to look like. But it's much easier, much quicker, and much more accurate if you use this method to scale your armor pieces, most especially helmets. and you're going to have success 100% of the time. It's going to be great. Things are going to be much easier for you. We appreciate the time that you took. If you enjoyed it, like the video, make a comment, let me know, and maybe I'll produce more. We have a lot of things that we do that, that'll help if you guys want to see them. So I appreciate it. Thanks, and we will see you later.